Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Open University.
Hello dear student, have a nice day. Myself Kiran Patel, Assistant Professor in School of Computer Science of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Dear students, we are going to start with the course RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. In today's session, we will learn about Block 4, Unit 3 is a locking. Now we will start with the Block 4, Unit 3 is a locking. First of all, we see the agenda of the Unit 3 is a learning objectives, introduction, locking strategies, types of lock, lock table, etc. After completed this unit, students will be able to understand the database lock, benefits of locking any database object, different modes of locks, different types of locks, etc. Now, today we will start with the introduction of locking. Locking is the process to restrict access to a row in multi-user environment. When a row or column is exclusively locked, other users are not permitted to access the locked data until the lock is released. This ensures that two users cannot simultaneously update the same column in a row. The Oracle database provides the data concurrency, consistency, and integrity among the transactions through a locking mechanism. What do you mean by data consistency? The data consistency is not a major concern in a single user, but it is the ability of multiple users or processes to access and modify the data simultaneously in a shared environment without causing the conflicts or inconsistencies. The data consistency means correct data. It ensures that the user can trust the information they are accessing. It is requirement that all the copies of the data are accurate, up to date, and consistent across all the system applications and database. The inconsistent data can lead to incorrect analysis, decision making, and outcomes. Now, what do you mean by data integrity? The data integrity is the process of ensuring that the data is accurate, complete, consistent, means the correct and valid data. The database locks are mechanisms that prevents the destructive interactions between the transaction accessing the shared resources or objects. Now, these resources can be table, data row, data block, cache item, connections, and entire system. The locks are performed automatically and require no user interaction. It is directly associated with the session. What do you mean by session? A session is the period of the time between when the user connect to the database and when they disconnect. A session can contain the multiple transactions and can be used to execute the SQL statements, maintain the transactional consistency, store temporary data, and manage the user-specific resources such as lock, cursor, and session-specific settings. Now, Oracle database automatically obtain the required locks when performing the SQL transaction. For example, before a session is permitted to update the data, the session must first log the data. The lock empowers the session exclusive control over the data so that no other transaction can log the data until the lock is released. Now, locking strategies. What is locking strategies? The database maintains the different types of lock based on an operation that hold on the lock. The lock have direct impact on the interaction of the read and write operation. The following rules summarize the locking behavior of the Oracle database for read and write. First is, row is locked whenever modified by the write operation. When the transaction updates one row, the transaction acquired the lock for this row only. The contention can be minimized by locking the table data at the row level. Means the row is locked, all modified by the write operation. This lock is only for a row. So update one row at a time. Now, second rules is that when one transaction is updating the row, then row is locked, means prevent a different transaction from updating the same row concurrently. It is prevent the updating the same row. Concurrently means simultaneously. Now, the third rules is a read operation never blocks the write operation. A reading of the row does not lock that row. A write operation can update this row. The only exception is a select for update statement that will log the row being read. Now the fourth rules is a write operation never block the read operation. When the row is being changed by the write transaction, the database apply undo the data to provide the readers with the consistent view of the row data. Means the write operation never block the read operation, only change by the write transaction. Now the next is lock mode. What do you mean by lock mode? The following tables describe the various type of the locking mode with their meanings. First of all, first is exclusive lock mode. Exclusive lock mode means what? It allows a select query on the lock table. All other operations like update, delete, etc. are prohibited to the other transaction. If you locked select query, then all other transaction you cannot perform on the table. So exclusive mode is used only one transaction at a time. Now shared lock. Shared lock is used. It allows the concurrent queries, but updates are prohibited for all the transactions. Shared lock allows multiple transaction or concurrent query. The exclusive lock is not allow the multiple operation. It allows the multiple operation, but update is prohibited. We cannot update the data when shared lock is allowed. Now row share. It allows the concurrent access to the table, but no other user can acquire an exclusive lock on the table. It allows the concurrent access. We can simultaneously access the data, but no other user can provide the exclusive lock. If you provide the shared lock, then you cannot provide the exclusive mode. Now, the next mode is row exclusive mode. Row exclusive, it is essentially the same as row share, but also preventing the locking in a share mode. The share row exclusive. It locks the entire tables. The query are allowed, but no other transaction can acquire any lock on the table because entire table is locked. So you cannot change any other transaction on that table. Now, types of lock. There are many types of the lock that can occur, such as a shared lock, exclusive lock, transaction lock, DML lock, and backup recovery lock, etc. Here, the Oracle server implicitly acquires the lock situation if the transaction is done on the same table in a different session. This default locking technique is called the implicit or a automatic locking. In explicit locking, a table or a partition can be locked using the lock table statement. In one of the earlier specified mode, it is better to acquire an explicit lock rather than relying on the implicit locking done by the default by the Oracle server. Generally, the database uses the two types of the locks. Now, first is the shared lock. In a shared lock, many shared lock can be obtained on a single object. This locking mode allows the associated resources to be shared based on an operation involved. The multiple user reading the data can share the same data, acquire the shared lock. To prevent the simultaneously access by write operation, looking for the exclusive lock. Now, the exclusive lock. What do you mean by exclusive lock? In exclusive lock, only one lock can be obtained on the object, such as a row or a table. Row or table is the object. This locking mode prevents the associated resources from being shared. The transaction acquired an exclusive lock when it updates the data. The first transaction who had acquired a lock to resources exclusively is only the transaction that can modify the resources until the exclusive lock is released. Now, the Oracle database does not allow the field level locking. It gives the row level, page level and table level locking mechanism. First is the row level locking. In a row level locking, any specific row or a rows in a table can be locked or unlocked. Rows will be available for update or a delete. The locked row can be updated only by the process that initiated the locking. So, the row level locking means what? Only that row is locked, not updated by the other. Now, next one is the page level locking. A page level locking is used when the where clause evaluate to the set of data. So, the page level locking is used when we can give the where condition. Now, the table level locking. The table level locking, the whole table is locked against any kind of the DML action from is the another transaction. Once the given transaction has locked a table, that transaction only one that can change row in the table. The table level locking only on that table. To lock any database table, the following syntax can be used. The syntax is lock table, then table name in lock mode, then mode, weight integer, no weight. Here, where the table is comma delimited, the list of the table here. If you give the more than one table, then comma is used. First table, comma, second table, XYZ. Now, the lock mode is any lock mode like exclusive mode, shared mode, row share. Wait specify that the database will wait for the specific number of the second as mentioned by the integer to acquire the DML lock. And no wait is used or indicate that the database should not wait for the lock to be released. Now see in the example. Let's look at below the code of how to use the lock table statements. For example, lock table student, then in shared mode no wait. This code will lock the student table in a shared mode and not wait for the lock to be released. This means not wait for the lock to be released. Here the student is the table name and in a shared mode lock. Shared mode lock means what? You can perform any operation on this table without update operation. Now, the lock table students in exclusive mode. Only single operation you can perform in this table. The above code will lock the student table in an exclusive mode and no wait for the lock to be released. So, here it is a student is the table name and exclusive mode means on the table student you can perform on a single operation, not any other operation you can perform. And no wait means the lock to be not wait for the lock to be released. Okay, now at the end, thank you all. Today we have been discussed about the PLSQL locking, which includes the introduction of locking, the locking strategies, different modes of locks, types of locks, and lock table. In our next session, we will start with the new unit. If you understand this session and getting the knowledge from this session, then please subscribe the BAOUGujarat. And once again, thank you all.